2021. Well, tonight we have a very special episode. It's about fathers, and we do realize that fathers are important and they are special. So we decided to have a Father's Day 2021 episode. So with that being said, the young ladies are not with us tonight, which is I know my castmates is Miss Go Getter, Pint, and also Sheeta Rock. However, we have special guests, and let's see. Let's go with Cook. Cook. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, everybody? First of all, I'll say appreciate wait again a minute doing this show. Shout out to all the fathers out there. I go by several names, but you can call me J Cook, father of two twin beautiful baby girls, and also a husband to my wife. Shout out to my baby. Business owner, J Cook Logistics, Future Superstars Music. I also can't leave out my wife's business. That's wifey.com. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Okay, now we have Mr. DA.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Go by DA. Um, Everybody know I'm married to my beautiful wife, Erica Fields. I got three beautiful kids, Caden, Kaylin, Duriel Jr. Can't forget my nephew and my niece. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Quan. He just graduated, went to sixth grade. Um, that's basically it, man. Work and go home for my family. That's what my life consists of.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Okay, now we have last but not least, Mr. James. James, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you go by. What's your name you go by?
Oh well, my mom and them call me James, but everybody else call me Jinx. I'm from Suffolk. Right now I'm on Smithfield. Father, I got one daughter named Jasmine, five stepkids, Shakira, Charlay, Amaya, Quentin, and Kabira. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make sure I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing special, you know what I'm saying? It's just trying to make it the best way I make it. That's about it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I definitely understand that and I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys actually coming on. When we actually post the topic, you guys were one of many that were selected, or your peers thought that you guys were good fathers. Not saying that you do everything correctly, but they feel as though that you guys, are in the struggle and they understand. And and y'all doing what y'all. It wasn't a shot, y'all. It wasn't a shot at all. I promise you, it wasn't a shot. But it just, fathers, and we felt as though that fathers are important, and you guys, and I can honestly sit here and say that we as women don't give you guys enough credit. So we just wanted to give you guys your flowers while you can yet smell them. That's basically it for today's episode. With that being said, Cook, tell us a little bit about you being a father, like the first time you found out that you were a father.
Well, my story is a little long, but I keep it short. Yeah, that'll take another episode. But it actually was a struggle for me and my wife to actually get pregnant and have kids. So for us, it was truly a blessing. It was special because we was trying for so long, and it was crazy because my wife type 1 diabetic. So for a long time, we just thought maybe that's the reason why. So after trying so many years, like we just got to the point where we was like, okay, it ain't working. So we both went to get checked out, and from going to get checked out, they said everything was good. So we couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. So basically we just got to the point where it was like, okay, my wife was like, look, I want to try IVF. So, at that point, just knowing how much that costs, it just it was a time where in our life where, she been supporting me and everything that I do for so long, especially like when I was really heavy doing the music, that I had to take a step back to kind of like do this for her, you know what I'm saying, and us at the same time. But she been supporting me, so that's what we both really wanted. So it was time for me to take that step to and sacrifice. Hey, this what we need to be doing, to kind of start our family and start building our legacy. So once we got to that point, I like I said, I'll shorten the story up, but after spending so many thousands of dollars, because like I said, we actually went through 3 rounds, and if y'all know how much that actually costs, you know what I mean, it was a crazy time for us. But the third time actually worked, and it ended up being 2 girls. And when we found out, it was crazy. So and how I found out, I won't get into that. That was just crazy.
Well, I definitely understand. But listening to you speak, and I can only imagine what you actually were feeling. But then to have two, you guys tried for so long, and then to have two, what was that like? Like, dang, Lord, okay, we were trying. Now you want to give us two, trying to give us a heart attack. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, because actually, as I mentioned, we actually went through 3 cycles, and the first time
Hmm.
when we were discussing it with the doctor, it was a situation where we actually had 9 embryos.
Okay.
So, but only 5 of them were good enough to implant. So the doctor was trying to figure out how many were we gonna implant, because
Hmm.
if you just do one, sometimes it don't work. So, or it don't catch, or it don't stick. So I was more so focused on her health. I was like, well, nah, we're gonna do one, because we don't even know how tough this pregnancy about to be, and we already know she's gonna be high risk. So we was like, we're gonna do one. My wife the whole time was like, she want to do two.
Oh,
I
she
ain't gonna
was
tell y'all.
ready.
I ain't gonna tell y'all the number she wanted to do first,
She
but
was ready.
yeah. So she wanted to do two. So yeah. So we ended up doing one. It didn't work. So she was like super devastated. Like I said, I was devastated as well, but I always, you know, prepare myself for the worst, and I got to be strong enough to be able to hold her up
Right.
if things don't go well. So once it didn't work, I just reconfirmed to her that, hey, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. We don't
Hmm.
care how much it costs. We're gonna figure it out. So we actually tried it again, and they was like, how many y'all gonna do?
Mm.
I was like, we're gonna do one.
Hmm.
We're gonna do one because I'm scared, and I gotta make sure she good. She come out of this okay.
Right.
So we end up doing one again. It didn't work. So
Well, thank God for that.
yeah.
Thank God for
So
that. It was definitely right on time, and at least like I said, you guys got two. So
right.
um, and two girls at that.
Yeah.
So thank God for that. Darrell, tell us what it's like being a father.
For me, being a father is my most important job. During the day, I answer to a lot of names, but when I go home, dad is the most important. So, um, like I said, they my world. Like that's why, like the roughest points in my life, I had my kids tatted on my arm, their name, so I can look at them and that give me the strength to keep going. So for
Mm.
me, it's everything. My daughter, like I went through a rough patch in February when I lost my father, and I was really
Wow.
down. And like my baby would not leave my side. Like the other two boys, they was into their games and everything,
Hmm.
but that baby girl, Daddy, you okay? You okay? You okay? Mommy told me to watch you, like, cause my mom had to work, but she
Right.
stayed there by my side the whole time, made sure I was good. That's just all about. That's what being a father and raising well-mannered kids is. They'll be there to take care of you when you're down. You know what I'm saying? It sounds bad, but that's the love they got for me.
Right. And that's the love that they have for you, and obviously that's the love that you actually show towards them. So she did basically want to reciprocate what you give her. And then being that your father passed, and then unexpectedly, it was nobody but God that she was there to be what you need her to be at that time. So
Uh,
we thank God for her, but it's a testament as to how you guys raised her as well. So kudos to that.
Thank you.
James, did you grow up with your father in the household?
Yeah, I grew up with him for a little bit though, cause he was dead. And my mom was married. Then they separated, got a divorce. So I didn't get to see him for like a year because it was, I guess, ugly from the outside. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
after that, he moved to Pennsylvania. So then they just had to set up like custodial visits. Like I go to school in Virginia, but as soon as the summer come, I'm gone, like straight up north. So it was going like that for a minute, and it was like that's how I was 13, and then he passed away when I was 13. So
Oh wow.
that's about
So
it.
sorry to hear that.
This life is like,
RIP to your father.
yeah, big
Um,
For
fact.
sure.
but I wanted to ask you, being that you were a teenager and you grew up with him for a certain amount of time, how did it make you feel, being that he's no longer here at such a young age, 13?
Sheesh. Well, at that time I was lost, cause it was like I ain't no mama boy. You know what I mean? I love my mama to death. Ain't nobody
Mm-hmm.
gonna do nothing to my mama. You feel what I mean? But I was always with my dad. You feel what I mean? Like my dad, that was a homie. You feel what I mean? So um, when he left, I was just at a standstill because everything I wanted to do was for him. You feel what I mean? Like my mom already graduated. My dad never graduated. It was, you know what I mean? He had his little struggles when he grew up. So it was just, I wanted to go do this for him, do this for him, do this for him. But then when he died, it was just like, in my mind, what's the point anymore? You feel what I mean?
Right.
13, I'm in 8th grade. We just moved. I ain't even supposed to be coming back to Virginia. I'm supposed to be staying in Pennsylvania. He gets sick. They send me back. My mom just moved to Worcester Pines. So now I love Kennedy. I'm at Yates now. That happened. So like it is what it is. I just ain't care. You know what I mean? But now I grow up and I think about it. I should have just cut the pressure on. You feel what I mean? And in
Mm-hmm.
my situation I'm in now, like if people know, you know what I mean? Like my baby mom's ain't here. She just passed away the day before Christmas Eve. So
Wow.
I got them four
Jesus.
girls, my daughter and her three sisters. I got them and they go through the same thing I went through. So it's like since I've been in that situation, it's a curse and it's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's a
Mm-hmm.
bad thing you got to go through it, but it's a blessing that you know how to maneuver through it. You feel what I mean? So
Right.
I just let them know at all times, like, look, I know it's hard. You got to stay focused. You know what I mean? All praises. It happened in the middle of the school year. They still all passed. Good grades. They all going to the next grade. You know what I mean? It's just the pressure. You just got to do what you got to do.
Right. And I don't mean to dwell on it too much, but it's definitely a thing of, because you went through it, you were able to help them handle what they were going through.
Right,
But
right.
your daughter was how old? How old is she now?
She's 10.
She's 10.
Yeah,
So
she the
how
baby
was
girl.
so how was she taking it?
Sheesh, they all taking it crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like like we grown. Know what I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
we know if you lost a parent. Know what I mean, like Da can. Know what I mean, like I don't know who else in here may have lost a parent or something, but no matter the age you at, if you lose a parent, that's a devastating blow. I don't care
Right.
if you knew them, if you didn't know them. Know what I mean, I done seen cats that cry because they lost their parent that they did know. Then I seen cats cry that they lost their father. They ain't even know him. It's just what I mean, it's just still something to go on. So yeah, but for them, because they kids, like straight up, they strong though. Cause them being strong helped me be strong. You feel what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
in my life, you know what I mean? Well, they've been in my custody, it's been up and down. You feel what I mean? And I done did some things that they done seen that won't right, and they seen the consequences of what happened when you
Mm-hmm.
live in a lifestyle. But it's still they strong though. You feel what I mean? So I
Right.
think over everything they done went through, it just helped them strong, and they know they had a circle around them. All praises for the circle. So you know what I mean,
Wow. Special kind of guy. Special kind of guy. Cook. What do you want your girls to remember about you?
I want them to remember how hard I went for them, how hard I worked, and that I was always there for them. And I guess most importantly, I want them to remember how I treated their mom. Because like I said, of course, we all want to go before our kids, so I just want them to always remember the respect and the love I treated their mom with.
Right. And that's good because when they see that, and then you actually are showing them how they should be treated. So,
Right.
and they will expect nothing less from what their dad showed and
No,
taught them.
no question.
So that's actually good as well. Darrell, tell me what you think a good father is.
Well, in my opinion, there's really no definition in a good father. I mean, everybody's situation is different. Everybody's child is different. How you parent your child may be different than how I parent mine. But in the end, a good father is someone who's always going to be there for their child, no matter what. No matter what. I mean, like I said, I've been through situations when I say the court system know me. The Judge Weisenhower know me. I mean, they know me up there because I went through a situation with my oldest son,
Okay.
and like it was almost like I was being drugged through the mud as a father, as a man at this period. And no matter what, I still went back to court. I still went back to court. I fought for my son, and I went from having joint custody of him when I first went through my divorce to the they tried to have custody ripped from me
Mm.
because of choices I made and the losses I took while I went through my divorce. So
Right.
I mean, I fought for him for years, a lot of tears, a lot of tears, a lot of praying to God, a lot of questioning. Like as a man, that's the worst thing you can do is have your pride tested.
Right.
And but for your child, you gotta set that pride aside and do what you know is right.
That's right.
And lo and behold, like January 2020, I got sole custody of my son. He's been in my custody since then. So I mean, just any man that fight for your child, you don't have to fight in the court system. You don't have to fight in the streets. It's just about the struggle to be there and to be in their life. That's what I consider a real father.
Now, being that you went through that struggle of just trying to be in your child's life, without prying too much, was it that the mother didn't want you to be a part, or she felt some type of way against you, or were you doing things that she felt as though he shouldn't
Well,
be around?
let me put it like this. When we were married, I wanted the best man. The maturity that I show now, I
Hmm.
didn't have it back then in my 20s.
Okay.
So I made a lot of mistakes with her. Sometimes we as adults, we as couples can't get past the hurt from mistakes made even after a divorce, and you allow that to interfere with your kids. And that's more so what happened. Like I said, no
Okay.
shade to her. She's a great mother. She's a great mother. But at the end of the day, like for me, I had to, like I said, I had to turn it over to God. And I don't go to church every Sunday, but I pray and I got my own relationship. And that's what I teach my son. But that relationship with him is the reason that he's with me. Like the reason I made it through. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been, when I say down, I'd
Hmm.
have been down
Jesus.
to the point where, my son would come in and stay with me and my mom house, sleeping on the couch. He would sleep on my back to the
Wow.
point where that's just, but like I said, him, that motivation, the struggle, I mean, it made it where we at now. And I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't change nothing. I appreciate it because it made me grow as a man. If not, I'd
Right.
still be out there acting out in
Immature.
the streets and not worried about the consequences. But like, the consequences is real. Like Jinx said, the mistakes you make take you away from 'em. And
Right.
I can't do that. Like I don't know, like if I had to make that mistake, I don't know what situation my son would be in right now. So
Right. Well, I thank God for you, and you being the guy that that chose to be in his life, because just because you're his dad don't mean that you had to be there, but you actually fought in the trenches to be a part of your son's life. And I can't imagine what that feeling is like, because I'm listening to you speak and I'm like, dang, why my dad didn't fight for me like that? So a lot of things we take for granted, it just makes it makes you think, but it's not about me, it's about you guys. But I just want to applaud you because you're young and you made a conscious decision to fight and be there for your son. So I
Facts.
definitely commend you.
thank you, thank you.
Jinx, being that you have your daughter, and the saying is, a lot of times people say a man can't teach a girl how to be a woman, or woman can't teach a boy how to be a man.
Right, right.
How was that for you?
Sheesh. It's we gonna hear that all night, I'm telling y'all now. But it's it's a struggle because like before this situation, I used to think the same thing, like, and I still kind of do, like a female, you can raise a man, but you only gonna raise him to the man that you want him to be. But that might not be the man that he's meant to be. You feel what I mean? It's no diss to any females, any single mothers out there that got boys and they doing their best to raise their son, but 9 times out of 10, you raising him to be the man you want to be. You feel what I mean? Like whatever man you had in your life, you want to be opposite of that. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I really thought about that real heavy. So now the shoe is on the other foot. It's like even from the dribble, it was the same way. Like, look, this is what I feel like y'all should do. You know what I mean? Your mom play a part. She doing what she should do. You look at your mom, but also, learn from the mistakes that we both make. You feel what I mean? Because first off the gate, you got to understand you're not perfect. When we realize we're not perfect, then we make the mistakes, we can learn from it easy instead of being so caught up that we ready to quit and give up on something because something ain't go right. You just got to keep it pushing. So I just try to push her and the sisters and everybody else, the whole gang, like, you know, in my eyes, this what a female should be. You feel what I mean? And I'm only gonna bring and be around females that I look like, that I look to in that light. You feel what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
even with, we call it the gang. You feel what I mean? Because a lot of females stepped up that was cool with my baby mom
Mm-hmm.
after the incident happened. You know what I mean? Big shouts out to them. So it's not me just by myself.
So
They
you have a
got
village.
different, they got different examples of
Okay.
females. Know what I mean? Not only the gang, my old lady, she's a whole nother example. She add in into that big gumbo of this is what a female should be. You feel what I mean? Is
Right.
how you take it is how you take it. But
So they're actually helping you
yeah, because
as best as they can.
yeah, 'cause
Being that your daughter is 10, like how do you console her when she's at her one of her lowest points when she's missing her mom?
I just be real with them. You know what I mean? I tell them since it happened, I always told them like you ain't gotta, don't feel like you ain't gotta cry.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't hold it in. Don't feel like you feel bad if you cry, something wrong if you cry. It doesn't matter what it is. If you feel like you gotta let it out, let it out. Because if you don't, you're gonna turn into something. It's gonna mess you up. And I'm telling that from personal experience. You feel what I mean?
Mhm.
Because most of the people, like, for real, if you know me from school back in the day, and you see who I am now. You're like, nah, not James. Like, nah, not him. Mr. A&B Honor. Come on, man. He ain't gonna do that. Know what I mean? But it's just something I went through. A whole lot of people probably ain't really know. And then all of a sudden I disappeared. Ain't nobody really see me no more after high school. Right. When in the middle of
Right.
high school, that's was something I'm going through. So I just tell them, if you want to cry, cry. My phone always open, no matter what time it is. And my phone been ringing. But it's kind of calmer now. But when it first happened, it
Mhm.
really wasn't no sleep because it was like I could be chilling. It's 1 a.m, the phone ring. You feel what I mean?
Wow.
If it ain't her, if she not there with me crying, there's a sisters on it. You feel what I mean? So
Mhm.
you just gotta stand tough and they cry. You let them see you cry so they understand like
It's
it's human
okay.
nature. It's okay. You know what I mean? We're
Mhm.
gonna, like how the song said, we're gonna cry together. We're gonna cry together, we're gonna break down together. But at the end of the day, we're gonna rebuild together to be
That's right.
better together. You know what I mean?
That's right. Cook, being that you have two toddler girls, how is it in the household now that you're an entrepreneur and you're at home?
It's loud. That's simple. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of sounds. A lot of hollering. A lot of stop. A lot of no. A lot of put that down. A
Right.
lot of hey. So a whole lot of that going on right now. I love it though. Because it's been a long time coming. Like
Right.
I know my wife. My wife prayed more than I have, but we just been waiting on these moments. So just to finally be here and like living in it, it's a blessing because like I said, it been so long. So some like we even still to this day tell each other like I can't believe we got two girls. Like
Right.
it's just from where we came from. Like it's just crazy. We always was the friend with no kids. So like, and all our friends got kids. So, it was always like that situation, like, well, when it's gonna be our turn, you know what I'm saying? But now it's just like we actually in it. So it's beautiful.
Okay, but Cook, stay right there when you just said about you guys were always one without kids and your friends
Yeah.
had kids.
Right.
Um, Tell me what a typical day when you guys were really, or even your wife was really feeling some type of way about not being able to conceive when you guys thought it was time.
Yeah. I mean, it's my job to always uplift her, and let her know, hey, look, it's gonna happen. If it's meant for us to happen, it's gonna happen. And whatever happens, we're gonna be here together. So even if we get old and it don't happen, we still gonna be together. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like if for some reason we can't have kids, then both of us just can't have kids. Like we gonna do it together though. You know what I mean? But we got a lot of nieces and nephews, so thanks to my brother. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of we always still played that parent role with them, you know, and they always look up to us. They always want to come over our house and stuff like that. So we always treated them like they was our own as well. So we always had that in our back pocket, but still in the back of your mind though, you want your own kids to leave your own legacy, to carry your own mantle. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
Well, Darrell, being that you have 3 kids,
Yes.
4 kids, okay. Do you parent them any different?
Yes. I got 3 different personalities in within my house. I mean, my son, the oldest, he's a loner. He's more of a I don't want nobody in my room. I'm on my video game. Don't come in my room. I'll go in his room to look for him, and he in the closet reading a book
Oh my God.
on the floor that made of a pallet. So it's like, okay, he's the loner.
Mhm.
My middle son, this is my stepson, but I don't use the word step
He's your son. That's right.
because I've been in his life since he was born. So that's my son too. No disrespect or nothing, but that's my son. So with him, he's the outgoing. He's the one that he's full of energy. He's running through the house. Caden, stop. Get off. Look, you can pull the stairs down. Caden, stop running. You gonna slide. You gonna hit your head. See, look, now you done hurt your knee. You know that he's that one.
Okay. He
but
always in something.
Yeah, but he's the most lovable one. He's the one that's so it's gonna be the most compassionate overall. He's the want to take charge, the protector. He wants to be the protector. Um, he's a great. He's that's him. My
Mhm.
daughter, from since she was small. When I mean small, I'm talking about came out her mom. I've been preaching to her about a princess, teaching her
Right.
about princess, king, queen, all that, and I've been planting in her head that she's a princess.
Mhm.
So she and my biggest
You
thing in
done
my house.
messed
Let
up.
me explain because it sounds bad. The biggest thing in my house is um, don't lie to me.
Right.
If you do something, be honest with me. We can all get through it. So she used that to her advantage though, because I'm not you get no spanking, no severe consequence if you tell the truth.
That's right.
And she be like, Daddy, I'm your princess, but look, I did such and such. Man, already. And I mean, she is the
She got
she's a
you wrapped around her finger.
yeah, basically. She's the loving little girl. She's rough. Again, she raised with a 12-year-old boy, and an 8-year-old boy who
Mhm.
think that they can bully her. She's the fighter. She's the feisty one. She's the loudest. She's a she's a cheerleader, dancer.
Oh, gracious.
She's everything, but that's my baby. She's a princess. She get whatever she want. You know, so it's difficult to manage all 3 of them
Mhm.
at times, but for the most part, they all connected with Fortnite. So I mean, it's pretty easy. At any given time, it's like, man, look, go get your Switch. You get on the Xbox. You get on the Xbox. Y'all
Mhm.
play Fortnite together, and
Right.
that's what brings them together. Or like we do, me and my wife, we do movie nights. We do a lot of stuff with them together.
Okay.
So I mean, it's that's the only way that you can bring those personalities together.
Right.
Even then, when they're together, it's still a lot of, like he said, hey, don't you hear him, Kaylin?
Yeah,
Caden,
so
sit down, man. JR, come on back here, man. You got to spend time with the family, man. You're not going over there. Like, so, I mean, but it's fun. I love it. Like I said, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Cook. Okay, you have 2 girls. Now, which one of them, and we know that they're young, but which one of them would you think you have to go to school behind, honestly?
justice. I think everybody who follow me on Facebook,
Yeah.
my family and friends, everybody know Justice. My dad, he shout out to my dad too. Happy Father's Day. My dad, he always say, "You gonna be the one I'm gonna have to come kindergarten behind." And yeah, she that one. But like everybody think my other daughter Journey, they think she's sweet, but
Mhm.
she real sneaky, and like she always fighting on her sister.
Cook. Now, what you get that? Who should get that sneakiness from? You or Mrs. Cook?
All right, I'm gonna put it like this. I think Journey acts like me,
Okay.
and Justice is a spitting image of her mom. Like she look like her and she act
Mhm.
like her. So like anytime justice, I'd be like, yo, get your child. That's your daughter right there. Like you see how she acting, right? That come from your side. So like she's the one like who I feel like is definitely gonna be I'm gonna have to, kind of, hey man, look.
Had to break it down on
Yeah. Like listen. But
Mm.
yeah, she gonna I think she gonna be the one.
Okay. James, did you ever have to go to school behind your daughter?
Like being bad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh nah, off the dribble. I ain't playing none of them games. I'm not playing none of them games. I ain't like before all the listen, they already know. I don't even want to put my hands on you. I think since my daughter 10, so out of 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
with them four, I probably like beat but spank with whatever. Because I ain't got time to battle with CPS no more either.
Right.
Like, I'll probably discipline. Maybe
Yeah,
like
you know what we
yeah,
call
yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying?
You know how them people gonna play with us.
Right.
Be probably like twice all of them, and after that they already know what it is. It's divorce and look. In the same way like how DA said in his house,
Mm-hmm.
don't play with me about the line. I'm the same way. Look, don't listen, whatever it is, we can get through it. I don't care what it is, you know what I mean? Look, I don't care what you do in life. As long as you honest with me, you giving me an example. Yeah, for a chance to go try to help you fix the situation. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta go to no school. When I would pop up at the school, I'm popping up at the school to go have lunch and
Okay.
go chill at the little, they might got an event or go pop up in the class. Like the same thing my mom used to do to me. But I just ain't going in there looking crazy. You know what I mean? Like when I walk up in the building, they're like, "Ooh, daddy, is that? Oh, that's your daddy. Oh, yeah." You know what I mean? But yeah, it's same vibes though.
I definitely understand that. Cook, I got a question for you.
Wait again a minute. Oh, I just thought I'd throw that out there. All right.
And I want you to be honest. And here on Wait Again Minute, we're unapologetic and we're unfiltered, and we're definitely gonna, speak the truth, like real life stuff. So with that being said, say, all of a sudden, like one of your girls come home and say, Dad, I don't like boys, I like girls. What would your natural reaction be?
I think I mean I wouldn't have that a reaction in front of them. I just think I might say something. Knowing me personally, I might just say something funny like, "Oh shit." Yeah, okay. So I just figure out if it's something they need to talk about, then I'll just be a listening ear. I'm not that kind of parent that's gonna be like, don't do this or don't do that, because I just believe in people love who they want to love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't have no problem either way. Um, my job is to teach them how to be good people. So even like just like the question you asked earlier, how could a man raise a woman or a girl to be, a woman? Is just like with with me, I just want to show them the morals and how to be good people. Like being a good woman gonna come naturally, or being a good man gonna come naturally, as long as they good people. If I can show them how to be good people and how to respect and how to love and have morals, then I think everything else will work out for itself. And then regardless of who they come home with, I know that I raised them the right way.
Good answer. Good answer. Guess what? You
That's the
answered
truth.
test. Yeah.
It's the facts.
Yeah. And I thank you for being honest. Da, being that you have a son, how do you feel about systemic racism? Like, do you have that conversation with him? Of what to do, how to do, or are you afraid?
Well, when my son was born, he was born 2009. 2010, I was working with the Norfolk Sheriff's Office as a deputy.
Okay.
So I worked there for 2 years.
Hold on, you working down at 811?
Yeah, I was at 811 for 2 years. More so than anything down there, it taught me how to look at the fine print of things when it comes to the law. Like you got to cross your I's and dot your T's when it comes to that. But when we're dealing with that, because I saw a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, I worked there. It was a paycheck for me. But to some of the other people that I went through the academy with, it was more of a power thing for them.
Right.
And I
That's the worst.
I can't say what I want to say because to be politically correct, but I watched a lot of people abuse their power with people that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I teach my son that you be firm with whatever it is, whatever you decide you're gonna do, or whatever it is you're doing, you stand on it. But you always make sure that you are right. Make sure that you are right. And if you're right, you stand on it. If you stand on it, you got, how do I put it? If you stand on what you're doing, don't back down.
Right.
But at the same time, don't be stupid, because you want to be able to make it home to fight. I mean, I don't know how to put it. Like, I want him to make it home, but we gonna fight together. That's my number one thing. He got to make it home to me. That's the number one thing. He got to make it home to me so we can fight together.
So is it safe to say that you're trying to say, let me know if I'm right or wrong, that you're gonna give him what he needs in order to sustain himself, but at the same time, regardless of the tools that you actually give him, it just may be that person that may be upon him, they may be on a power struggle. So you don't want him to make that false move to where he can't, come home and tell you what's going on. He can't call you and say, hey, Dad, I need help.
Yeah, because like I said, like, you got kids that's getting killed for going to the park playing. That's right. Things that we did back in the day that was just what we did naturally. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's almost, I'm terrified for my son to go to a park that's a street over, because I never know if a police officer is going to pull up and profile him.
Right.
My son got dreads. He's 12. He's a thick kid. You profile him, like, that's not cool. So, like, I give him the tools to, at that point in time, you abide by what they're saying.
That's right.
You're bad. You come home and tell your daddy, come get me. Come get me. Let me fight. Because I'm gonna do it the right way, and we're gonna get it ad out. Whatever way we need to get it ad out, your daddy gonna get it straight. But I want, like I said, the number one thing is just him making it home safe. Include my daughter, my middle son. Like, that's the number one thing. Like, I don't know. It's like that. That's a whole different ball game when you come to talking about that. That's the reason. Like, that's the reason I'm not at 811 anymore. That's the only reason I did 2 years, because I couldn't stand it. Like, the way this stuff was going. The money was good. The money was great. Don't get me wrong. The money was good. But what I had to see and tolerate, and if I spoke up on it, I could have lost my, like, you work at the wheel. You work at the wheel of a sheriff. So
that's right.
Yeah. So if you're working at the wheel, if you speak the wrong thing in that atmosphere, you wake up the next morning and did nothing wrong. You get a phone call, say, hey, I don't think this is working out for you.
That's right. You got the pleasure of the
So,
sheriff.
That's why I had to get up out of there. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I never apologize for nothing I went through in life or nothing I done. Like I say, help me make me a better man for my son, to be able to teach him that, hey, if you in the car and you driving and the officer walk up to your window and he look at you and he asks for your driver's license and ID, you give it to him, and he say, hey, I want to search your car. You got the right to tell him no. Use your flashlights, look through my window. If you don't see nothing in there, that's all you get to see. Like, that taught me the law, basically, and how to maneuver with the law. So, I mean, that's all I do. I pass that on to him. Every bit of knowledge that I've learned in my 37 years, I pass on to him.
That's right. That's right. Mr. James, I want to know, being that you have a daughter and she's soon, in a couple of years, she's going to be a teenager. How are you going to explain to her, or how would you explain to her about boys and, all that good stuff? And be honest.
You said I'm supposed to do what?
How are you going to explain to her about, boys and dating and all of that stuff? Like if she come to you and say,
you understand what she's saying?
I don't, man, listen, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You understand what she's saying, Spook?
I don't know what dating means.
I don't know what she talking about.
Put it this way, gentlemen.
I got you.
As long as y'all living, it's
but
gonna
listen,
happen.
you already know. And I don't know, cause for real, like right now, since she got older sisters, it's like I get a try era. You feel what I mean? Like the oldest one, she just turned 17 this year.
Okay.
She turned 18 in a couple months. You feel me? So it's like, now I'm saying I already been through what we've been through. So you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a learning aspect. Then I guess since she the baby and everybody behind the oldest, they see what they hear what I tell them.
Yeah.
They see what I show them. And no matter the decisions they make, they get to see the consequences of it. But then at the end of the day, they still see like, cause they call me old man. Old man gonna pull up. You know what I mean? Old man gonna stop. Like whatever, whatever. What we gotta do is tell him, man, he coming. You feel what I mean? Like, and it's crazy because that's a whole situation I ain't even gonna get into either. But as fathers, where we are right here, any father out there, you got to make sure your daughter, your son, whatever the case may be, they understand and they believe and they got faith that no matter what's going on, you as a father, you supposed to be the protector, the provider. They can come to you about anything. You feel what I mean? And right. And there's a lot of pressure because they might look at you as a hero and you looking at yourself as like, who is that? You feel what I mean? But at the same time, you just gotta stay focused on that motivation because that's really who they showing you. And I'm proud of what how whatever it is in life, and that they feel like they can come to me and they for sure that anything go wrong, I'm gonna be the first number to die, but still at the situation like what's really going on. Just all fathers, make sure y'all do what y'all supposed to do, man, because these kids need y'all regardless.
Drop them gems. Drop them gems. That's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
sir.
Don't be afraid to drop them gems. Cook. I got a question for you because
Hey.
I see and I watch you. You kind of like laid back. So, with that being said, do you feel as though you parent your kids based upon how relationship that you had with you and your dad?
Yeah. Because like what's interesting or what's beneficial for me is I saw how my dad and my stepmom was with my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact that how she turned out so successful, college graduate, she graduated from ODU. Shout out Nia. Hey sis, I love you. So just to see the woman she turned out to be, I always think about that when I'm raising my girls as well. Like, and I just try to implement some of those same things that I saw my dad and my stepmom do with my sister. So
Okay. Darrell, being that you grew up with your father, correct?
Yes, I actually had my father and my grandfather in the house with me when I grew up.
Okay. Being that you grew up with your grandfather and your father, how how do you feel honestly, being that your dad is no longer here and not being able to be in your kids' life?
That's one of the hardest things. It definitely is like it's big shoes to fill for me. Because not only with my kids, but my niece, my nephew,
Mm-hmm.
they was living with him. So with my nephew, he that male figure, and shout out my cousins, Marquise, DeKeese, Rhonda, everybody that's helping with my nephew, but that male figure. So it's just, I mean, with my father passing, it just made it, I'm not gonna say more weight on my shoulders because it's never weight. It's never weight when you're doing something out of love. So it just makes it makes my day, it makes my day a little more full, if that makes sense.
Right, it does.
Because I try to make it to my mom's house to see him, or I'm calling to check on them. Then of course I got my son, my daughter, my stepson, my son there that I'm, spending time with too. And I mean, it's hard, but for the most, I mean, it's hard, but it ain't hard. You just got to know, like I said, again, you got to know the child that you're dealing with, the personalities, what each one of them expect and what each one of them are looking for. I mean, that changes daily. Believe me, it changes daily. Like I said,
Sure.
like I said, my son went to 7th grade. My nephew went to 6th, and it's like, okay,
So they right behind each other.
yeah, both of them gonna be at Kings Fort Middle.
Oh,
I'm praying.
Lord.
If the principals watch, I'm praying for y'all right now, because them two together. I normally be clocking out of the city. Hey, look, can y'all swing me back Kings Fort real quick? I gotta go get the kids. So I mean, it's coming, but I think they're gonna do really well there. They're both honor roll students. Both of them
Good.
are in advanced curriculums in middle school, taking high school courses. So I'm proud of them. And that wasn't by no fault of my own. That wasn't because of me. That was because of my father. My father was the one that pushed the education. My father was the one that pushed the good grades more so than, I mean, I pushed good grades, don't get me wrong, but he really pushed it. He pushed all right, well, look, you done finished all your homework. Your dad told you to get on the game at 5. You got 15 more minutes. Go study some more.
Right.
You
So
feel me?
he was he was old school.
Yeah, he old school with
Okay.
it. He old school with. Whereas me more so is I give them the chance. Like I know how my dad. I know how he was on me. Not saying nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? I love my father and I appreciate everything he did. But he was on me like, hey, get to it. Do this. Do that. Do that. I don't do that with them. Like, look, you got to get this done. And the reason I don't do that with them is because once I got to high school, I rebelled. Like, man, look,
Okay.
I'm a big 230-pound dude now. You can't make me do nothing. What's not saying like that's just my mentality. That's what my mentality was. And because of that, I didn't graduate until I was 20, So
Okay.
with them, look, you got to do this. It's either you do it or you deal with the consequences because you got to make good decisions. As being a man is all about making good decisions, and whatever decision we make, we got to stand on it. We got to
That's
deal
right.
with it. So
right.
if I make a bad decision, guess what? I know I'm going down here to Hannah Hunt. Sit down here for a little bit. Hopefully my wife Erica come get me. If not, I'll be down there until my case. But with them, it's either you do your
I'll come
work.
get you, man.
I appreciate you, bro. That's what we talking about right there. It's either you do your work or you deal with the consequences. Like right now, my son he don't have. I pay a cell phone bill. We pay an internet bill. You got an Xbox in your room. You got a Switch. You got anything that a kid could want because I make sure that you get. The only thing I ask on you is when I get up in the morning to go clock in, you clock in that classroom. And
That's right.
he couldn't hold up the end of the bargain. So now it's like I asked him this morning before I left, before I dropped him off at my mom's house, like, well, who are you mad at? Well, I'm not mad at you, Dad. I mean, you told me 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I told you. I'm mad at myself because I didn't see it then. Like I wanted to play the game. I wanted to watch YouTube. And that was more important than my work. Now you see why.
Yeah.
Now you see you don't have YouTube, Fortnite, nothing. Go look. I'm gonna drop you off at your grandma's house so you can watch your little cousin play the game. Better not touch a remote. So that's.
Oh wow. But you know what though? I actually agree with you. And some parents that I'm seeing, especially like far as social media, when they post, they post their kids. They buy their kids all these material things. However, when you're buying the material things, they don't hold their end of the bargain. Just like you said, as far as school, so they post all the things that they bought their children,
Yeah.
but yet you won't post these grades.
Yep.
And it's like, so you're rewarding them for doing nothing. You're, it's crazy. Do you agree, Darrell?
I agree. But let me clarify one more thing. More
Okay.
thing. I'm waiting again a minute. My son does not have bad grades. Okay. He finished, like I said, he was taking 8th grade algebra,
Right.
8th grade science this year. He finished both of them with an A and a B.
That's good. That's good.
My son is how do I put it? He's a procrastinator.
Okay.
He wait till the last minute to get stuff done. And it just so happened this 9 weeks into the school year, we all been in school before.
Mm-hmm.
We know the last 9 weeks, school do what? It shut down early when you're in middle school. Your class is shut down early and you start just enjoying the last 2 weeks of school. It shut down on him when he thought he had time. So your grades showed that, but because I said what I told you this and you didn't take heed, you got to suffer the consequences. His grades are still good because I don't want nobody running back telling his mama, girl, his grades and no, his grades is still great. He finished with 3 B's and an A. 3 B's and an A. That tells you right there that if his grades dropped, that he been on it all year.
Yeah.
Right.
But his grades this 9 weeks just wasn't up to par with what I hold my kids in the household accountable to.
And what you know he's capable
Thank
of
you.
doing.
Yeah.
So I just want everybody to know that we are not saying DA's son has declined at all in anything. He just fell off a little bit, as we all have and do. But with that being said, Cook, I wanted to know from you, do you have any regrets thus far, as far as being a father?
Nah. I waited too long. So whatever come with it, I'm ready. I'm ready to deal with it. I'm ready to handle it. Like it's the best thing that ever happened to me. So nah. That's a quick nah. Hell nah.
James, excuse me. Being that you are a father of all girls, right?
Yeah, and a boy.
And a boy. That's right. And a boy.
And I'm still shooting in the gym. So,
That's right. I forgot you said
I'm
that.
still trying to shoot in the gym.
I forgot. I forgot. Y'all still having practices. Okay, so are y'all practicing like a couple days a week?
Nah, I mean, look, it's chill right now because you see how they been trying to line me
hey,
up.
bro.
But now I'm gonna make sure it's clear. Though. I ain't gonna go too far. But listen,
hey.
it's like my little situation now.
Wait again a minute.
Right, please do. Well, my little situation now, like Shorty in the Navy, so she just transitioned. She just got shipped to Cali. You know what I mean? I just came home last September. You know what I mean? So when I came home last September, I was trying to get my stuff right. Me and her start kicking it and, do what we do. I'm waiting on the probation people right now because I'm on shadow track. If anybody locked up, you know what I mean, you on probation, you came home, I'm praying for you. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm on shadow track right now, so that showed the difference. But yeah, I'm just waiting on these people to go get my paperwork right, and then I love Virginia to death, but if you know me, I'm gone. I'm gone.
You gone. Jarrell, now I know you had 3 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you expressed, the joys of being a father. Had you ever, if you didn't have kids, what would you be doing right now? Honestly.
Let's see. Probably just coming home from a bid. I mean, being real. That's just being honest. Like
from a bid.
Yeah, we live in Suffolk. It's not a lot of things to do out here. But as a kid or as a teenager, it's not a lot of things to do. And a lot of the choices that we make, it don't got to be something major, but the littlest thing, they giving people touchdown numbers. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
especially people that look like us.
Say it again. So it's like I probably would have been in trouble. I mean, being honest, and no disrespect to my parents, they raised me well. It's the choices I made. It's the choices I made. Like I said, I graduated when I was 20. That tell you right there from that point there that I wasn't making good decisions for a long time. So like my son, he slowed me down. He made me realize that it's more to life than just trying to be popular in the street or trying to have this or trying to be known. Like that's why, like everything I do is for them. Every move I make, every step I make, every time I wake up in the morning, I thank God, and everything that I do that day is to better myself for them, not for me, because I could care less about materialistic things. For me, I'm 37. I'm trying to build generational wealth for them.
That's right.
I'm trying to put myself in a position where, if Lord forbid, if anything happened to me, look, this policy here go pay the house off. This policy here is for their college tuitions, 4 years. This for her tuition. This for his tuition. Like, that's my goal right now. So it's like having kids definitely make you look at life a lot different.
I'm sure it does. Now, how do you guys feel? And I want each of you guys to answer this question. We're going to start with Cook, and then we're going to go to James, and then Darrell, you're going to complete the question. And I wanted to know, how do you guys feel if you have a friend who has kids and he doesn't take care of his kids? Like, do you say anything to him, or like, what is your take on that?
I mean, personally, like, I feel like if you don't take care of your kids, I can't associate myself.
Fact.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like, bruh, I don't really know, like, especially now, like, that I got kids, and even before, because we wanted kids so bad. So, even if it wasn't a father, mothers too, but people, period, because everybody don't deserve children. I came to learn that too, and it's just like, I can't associate myself.
So
you know what I mean?
So that's one who would not associate himself with somebody who actually doesn't take care of his responsibilities. Now, James, what about you? How do you feel about it?
It's the same stance. Like, before I was even a father, I was probably like the last one in the crew to have a baby. So
that's me.
Even when we ain't even had no baby, we were just young running around. Like, we all made a pact because all of us grew up at some point in time without a father. So it's like, I mean, we're gonna make this pact. We ever had kids, we gotta take care of this. You feel what I mean? Now I know people, I mean, that ain't doing what they supposed to do. Or I ain't even gonna say ain't doing what they supposed to. They can do better at what they supposed to do. You know what I mean? They might got their own situation mentally, whatever. But I know people that can be doing better. And if you do see me or associate with them, I'm always spend time to, like, yo, what's up with that? You know what I mean? You need help with something, blase, because sometimes it be a lot of fathers that they good fathers. They just like my man said earlier, just a prideful situation. You feel what I mean?
Right.
And a man pride is really, really dangerous. So your pride to make you do a lot of like my favorite motto is good intentions, bad decisions. You feel what I mean? My pride is what got me in trouble. Like I could have just said whatever, we're gonna thug it out a little bit more, but my pride is like, nah, we're gonna get this done. I gotta get this done by any means necessary. If there's money to be made, we gotta get this done. I'm out there. You feel whatever it is, but good intentions, bad decisions. You feel what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can't really rock on them, but if I'm around them, I'm always try to lift them up. You feel what I mean? Instead of just knocking them down, because if he ain't doing for his kids, best believe his friends ain't gotta say nothing to him. His mom ain't gotta say nothing. The baby mama already on his nerves about it. You feel what I mean? Like
Right.
she's not gonna let up. It's 2021. His social media's not gonna let up. All the posters, her girlfriends are probably ain't even helping with the babies. Not gonna let up. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
he already on it. He already feel the pressure. So you know.
Look for Sunday.
Okay. DA, what about you?
I can't associate with him. That's just me. Like I know from most of I know Jinx and I know Spook outside of this, and I know both of them are big men that reside on loyalty. How can you be loyal to me if you ain't being loyal to something you made? I can't deal with it. And like I said, like I mean, I can't say that I'm not gonna kick it with you. And like Jinx said, if somebody that I know that's slacking, hey bro, can I help? And I'm gonna take it one step further than Jinx. I'm not even gonna go to him because he know what he doing. He know
Right.
what he doing. I'm going to his child's mother. Look, whatever he need, come to me.
Right.
Come to me.
And also
Come to
too,
me.
like, sometimes too,
It
people
is. It is.
sometimes too, you don't know. A lot of people got their own situation too.
Right.
So I know I don't seen a couple times where, you might see a situation and you want to know like, hey, well, what's going on there? And then you really find out what the situation is. And it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how I don't know how you able to do what you do what you
Facts.
trying to do, or but in certain situations like that, I always look at, well, what are the attempts being made?
Right.
Like what
Correct.
are you trying to do? Like are you trying, and then like once you really find out what's going on for real, then you can make that decision. But as far as like, if I just know you just ain't, you just a deadbeat out here, I can't.
And let me
You know what I mean?
let me clarify something. When I say I go to her, I'm not approaching none of my dudes, none of my homeboys. I'm not approaching nobody, baby mama. I got a wife for that. I got a wife for that because I don't want nobody misconstrued. Like, boy, he was trying to give me such and such, and he was trying to get because that's gonna cause a big ruckus that ain't need to be made. And Jinx made a good point. Like, boy, that's dangerous. Nah, hey, babe, look, hit such and such up. Tell her anything they need. Hit us up. Let me know. I got it. Not her. Not that she got it. I got it because I'm gonna make sure it's done. The same way I make sure man taken care of. So that's just my outlook on that. Like,
I get you, and I know you were ready to go with it because I could see you sitting there like on the edge of the chair, like let me get in this shit, let me get in. But okay, but just to piggyback on what you were saying, you've been preaching the whole night about a man's pride, and a man, and you express how pride of a man is like the ultimate, right?
facts.
So when you do have a close friend and you step to that friend, do you think that you're infringing upon his pride, so to speak, especially if he isn't doing what he's supposed what you think he should be doing or that he knows that he should be doing?
Let me tell you, as a man, and I'm sitting here between, like, I know Jinx Spook's my brother. If I'm down, I want Spook to step up. I want him to hold me down till I get on my feet. Because when I get on my feet, I'm gonna bless his kids the same way in return.
Facts.
For me, it's like shouldn't be no pride when it comes to kids. And I'm not worried about his pride. I'm worried about the child. And I tell my wife, that go for my wife too. When it's me, her, and the kids come first. Don't get me wrong. I know what the Bible say, but my kids, my baby, the youngest, she can't do certain things for herself. She can't. She's not that independent yet. So she has to come first with her needs. And my wife understands that. She understands that she's to the point there where it's like she loves that. She loves that I'm gonna take care of them because that takes the strain off her back.
Right.
Because in return, if I'm taking care of them and all my time's going into them, she's making sure I'm good. And in return, I'm gonna make sure she good too. So I mean, that's just one of them things. Like you can't let your pride come before your child. That's how you had like men out here that's lost. that's lost, that don't know how to be a man. They out here trying to figure it out as they go.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Um, Cook, do you think that being in a child's life consists of just far as monetary, or do you think them spending the time with the child is even more important, building that relationship?
Nah, nah, it's definitely time. And that's one of the major reasons why I made some of the decisions I made as far as business, as far as just making that decision to bet on myself. Because I want to spend as much time with my girls as possible, and my family. So like you putting that time in, like obviously monetary is a big part of it, because at the end of the day, kids need pampers,
That's right.
kids need food, they gotta eat, they need a roof over their head, they need stuff. So that's definitely a part of the fatherhood. But that ain't nothing like that time. That
That's,
time is priceless. Time ain't got no price tag on it.
yeah.
what you guys say, Darrell?
Well, no, I mean that's what a lot of dudes get it confused about. Get it confused about. Like I hear a lot of dudes talking. Let me tell you something. I never paid child support to my ex-wife for my son. I've never. And that wasn't because I did no loophole or nothing. It was because I was a real father and I wanted to spend time with my son. Me wanting to spend time with my son and be a father kept me off child support,
Mm-hmm.
because you start learning about joint custody. This. Oh, 100 days. I gave up every weekend. I spent every weekend I had my son. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to see my son.
Right.
So when we went before that child support attorney person, he was like, "Yo, you get him every weekend. You get him every day out of school. You get him, man. That's 104 days right there, just every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's joint custody, regardless of what that paperwork say for custody. That's
Right.
joint custody and child support ads. Like it's like a lot of dudes I heard dudes talk about child support. I'm not telling you to beat child support, because you got to be there for your child monetary. But if you spending that time with them, you taking a strain off that mother.
That's
You're
right.
taking a strain off that mother, because now you got them a whole. The time that you got him, if you got him 120 days out the year, that's 120 days that mother ain't got to try to feed him. That mother ain't got to try to put clothes on their back, because she not sending clothes with him, because he's spending so much time with you that you got clothes there for him. Like it's like some stuff common sense, and some stuff. I mean, maybe it's me because I'm older.
Some people don't have that common sense, though. Some people don't have that common sense. But we're going to wrap it on up. So my last question is to, well, actually I have two questions. My first question is, how important do you think fathers are in a child's life? James, we're going to start with you first.
Well, I can't even say in this time of day, but for real, like how we see how the life is right now, how the world is. Like if you a father, you ain't in your kid's life by no means. You know what I mean? Unless it's like the mama really going out her way to make sure you not around.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really got to get your. We can cuss a bit. Oh,
Yeah.
I ain't know. I've been trying to be.
Yeah, ain't
Okay,
bad.
okay. We listen. You really got to get your shit together. You know what I mean? Straight up, because your kids need you. Especially if you grow up without a father, you already know what the deal is. You know how rough it is. You love your mama. She a single parent. You already know how hard it is on your mama. So do what you got to do, because the kids need you. That's basically.
If you out here and if you fathers are the most very important, because you teach structure. You're the discipline. You for a little girl, you their first superhero, and for a little boy, you their first. I mean, you their role model. So you got to be there. Like this is very important, because if you don't care, the next man that's gonna show interest in them gonna have a badge on his chest and telling them to turn around, put their hands behind their back. So that's just my opinion on it.
How you feel about it, Cook?
I mean, I think it's equally as important as having the mother around. That's how I look at it. You know, I mean, it ain't really no other way to put it.
Well, you didn't say a mouthful there. Um, my last question is: we ask all guests that come on Wait Again Minute. We always ask for some feedback or some little comments or whatever in regards to Wait Again Minute. We'll start with you, Cook, since you ended it.
Like I said, I just want to say, I'm definitely proud of what y'all got going on. I'm proud of all the ladies. Like I said, Black Queens, definitely doing their thing. I definitely watch the show. I try to comment. Sometimes I try to comment more.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I definitely like what y'all doing. It's definitely professional. just being up here, from actually watching, like I said, I'm definitely impressed. The professionalism. Like I said, I'm proud of y'all, man, especially being from where I'm from. So
Thank you. Thank
keep
you.
it going. Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
I'm definitely proud. I'm proud of all. Proud of my sisters for what they built. Keep doing what you're doing, and don't let. I mean, y'all breaking a lot of barriers, like a lot of barriers. Like I watch y'all, and yeah, I don't comment because some of the topics I be scared. I don't want to get chewed up in the comment section.
That's what it is.
But you know, it's still support regardless. I support it regardless. You know what I'm saying? But I'm proud of y'all, and like I said, anything I can do to support y'all. Like, oh, Saturday, make sure y'all let the cook back at Lake Kennedy, man. Wait again, Amendment putting it on. I don't know if you saw Miss Gambriel live.
Rise
sure
of
you
St.
did.
James.
Yeah, it's been changed to Rise St.
Oh,
James.
it's been changed to Rise of St. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord, I ain't know that.
Yeah, location
But you
changed to
got it.
Rise
Rise
of St. James.
Shout out
This
Black.
Saturday, Juneteenth.
Oh,
Yeah.
shout out some. I want to shout out a couple amazing followers, man. The Otis Porter, Marquis Stevens, B Menace, the Keith Callan. Like,
I know I'm gonna forget somebody. So
yeah,
I just,
anybody I
yeah.
forgot, don't charge it to my heart. Oh yeah, can't forget LJ. He on his way home there at his daughter's graduation. Hey, look, shout out y'all, man. Shout out Jinx. Shout out all team, the fathers at Team USA. Salute y'all, man.
Happy Father's Day to my father, Jay Cook Sr. Yes, sir.
All right, Jinx. What you got? What you got to say about wait again a minute?
Oh, I mean, they already said everything need to be said, so I ain't gonna waste nobody time by repeating it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? We know the vibes. You know what I mean? Y'all strong.
but
Y'all
damn,
doing y'all thing.
but do Jinx feel the same way? Because Jinx, he's a little smart dude, so he may feel different.
Listen, best believe if I felt different, you would know. Like, but everything is agreeable. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
shouts out to y'all. Y'all doing what y'all supposed to do. It's a good thing. And then I hope the younger females, they can look up because y'all really showing on the ropes. Like, I know y'all probably got your own little individual stories, but still,
Yeah.
y'all trying to be successful. And then the biggest thing about it all, y'all coming together is unity because
Right.
Yeah,
y'all
that's
know how
important.
it is with us. Like, it's hard for us to come together. And
It is.
it's hard for men to come together. It's hard for sisters to come together. So I just respect y'all what y'all
Especially
doing.
women.
Very, very, because y'all know
For-
y'all get
for-
petty with each other. So
For women.
There he go. There he go.
For-
yeah.
There
But
he go.
I just want to send a quick shout
Especially
out
women.
to
You
all
gonna
my
get a shout out
brothers,
too. Go
all
ahead.
my brothers that's fathers out there, my whole team. You know what I mean? There's a lot of y'all. Y'all know what it is. All my cousins is out there, the family. You know what I mean? His fathers, all the fathers, period. If you're a good father, you're a bad father, you're an excellent father, you're a deadbeat father. Just remember you're a father.
That's right.
And off the
That's
fact
right.
of that should make you go to sleep with the thoughts and wake up with the momentum that I gotta be better.
Tomorrow. That's
You know what
right.
I mean?
There's always a tomorrow.
Layway, we out here.
Well, with that being said, we want to thank you guys for stopping by, and I want you guys to feel good this Father's Day because not only is it another year around the sun for you guys, but that your peers actually thought enough of you to drop your name in the comments, and some of you were dropped several times. So when we reached out, I was like, I have to reach out to these guys because you guys were spoken of highly.
Shout out to them people.
Yeah, appreciate that. Because
Amen.
But it just goes to show like people really respect who you are and what you're doing, and we here with again man and want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing every day, no matter if you feel as though you're not getting it right, and just keep doing what you're doing and remembering that God does all things well. And so with that being said, we want to again wish you a happy Father's Day, and we wanted to wish those who are listening that are fathers or expecting fathers a happy Father's Day as well. So with that being said, we have two events coming up this Saturday, Juneteenth, 12 to 4 at Rising St. James Church on 6th Street. Make sure you guys come out. For those who are here in the city of Suffolk, bring your chairs, bring your positive attitude, and we'll see you at 12. As well as we still have a few tickets left, y'all. Only a few tickets. I talked to someone today that's sitting on that cast with a little black hat on. He's trying to get his babysitter together, so we putting it out. So we're kind of pushing him in there.
That's right.
Pushing him in there. But for those who have not got their tickets, we still have a few tickets left. So hit us up and let us know that you want to be in the place. So with that being said, good night.